Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Nothing But Stuff. We are here at number 12. We are a regular dozen, I should say. Isaac, are you looking forward to the baker's dozen?
I was about to say, where's the baker's dozen? This is Isaac Harwood with the surname. I'm here in the hot seat, and it's actually not so hot anymore, so that's okay.
Speak for yourself. I am roasting. I have a fan on. Hopefully the fans don't hear it back home, but I do actually have a fan in attendance.
I was about to make a fan joke because, well, you're naked on the screen, so...
You can only see the top half of me.
I am your number one fan? Or... Yeah, but if you move too much... no, he's rubbing himself. See? It's very off-putting. I feel like I don't want to watch you whilst recording, but I need your cues, otherwise we're just going to chat over each other.
Okay, when I want you to wrap something up, I'll just twist my nipple.
Which one? I mean, is there a code? Does the other nipple, is that turn up, turn down, and I have to look really closely for which way you're twisting?
If I'm twisting both, I've just forgotten about the podcast and I'm just having a good time. Lewis, what have you been doing recently? What's your recent stuff? Well, my recent stuff, don't think this will have really come on your radar, but this has been on Netflix. So it's one of these Netflix documentaries where they follow like a season of sport for a certain sport. Now, you may have heard of the Drive to Survive Formula One thing.
Nope.
Okay, well, there we go. I've watched a bit of that. It's all right. It's very good. These shows are very good about making a sport, which I find quite boring to watch, really, really entertaining, because they just pick all the highlights.
And I find a well-made documentary can talk about anything, because it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've just released one on, I think it's the 2021 Tour de France.
Okay, your jam.
Big cycling event. Well, the thing is, I don't enjoy watching cycling.
Who does?
I enjoy riding my bike. But it's really, really good. Really well made documentary. But the key point I wanted to bring out is about a guy who appears in the first couple episodes more than the rest. And he basically is just the biggest fucking legend I have ever seen in my life. Because a couple years ago, he was in a race. He's a sprinter, so when you get close to the end, he's one of the guys like absolutely going hell for leather, barreling towards the finish line. That is what he does. And in a race a couple years ago, I think it was in Poland or something, he just got completely barged by another cyclist into a railing at the side and just completely goes head over tails into like a solid pole and everything. The guy nearly died. Okay. He ends up having he's fractured his bone. Like, he basically had a hole in the top of his mouth going into his nose, so you could just see into his nose. He had 138 breaks in his skull, all this sort of thing.
But the bike kept going and dragged him to victory.
And he came third. No, but it's just like this whole there's the whole thing about he's not in a very good team. They don't even get close to winning or anything. But it's just this whole thing about how this guy who has this completely reconstructed face is now back doing what he loves and cycling and all this sort of thing. And he has this really kind of He's literally last in one section, but there's this whole emotional. Yeah, it's that classic sort of thing. But I just thought it was a really poignant moment in the show, as it were. But I really recommend, even those who aren't into cycling. It gives you an insight. It's called. I think it's called the Tour de France Unchained, but it always just flashes it up in subtitles because it's mainly in French. Most of the riders are either French or Belgian.
So who's this guy?
Things like that.
What's the guy's name?
Fabio Jakobsen.
Did you watch the Michael Jordan one? I know it's not the same.
Yes. Last Dance.
Because he's just the most. I love every chapter of that, because it's always it was looking really bad for Michael Jordan. Oh wait, no, he's cool. every episode, it's he's probably gonna make it. He's fucking amazing. Well, I'm glad you asked, Lewis. My recent stuff. Always go second because we always leave the good stuff for last. So,
Sorry, what?
I went to the UK Game Expo. I did.
Oh yeah, I thought you went to Disneyland.
I did that too, but I don't care about that. That's not what the listeners want. That was just for my Princess 3-year-old, who's a princess now, forever.
Okay.
Anyway, UK Game Expo, which, as someone kind of pointed out when I was there with a bunch of people, they said, it's a lot better than Comic-Con, because that's basically just like cosplay con, really. But yeah, it's just all the people advertising all their new games and game-related stuff. So it's way better than Comic-Con. We went there because...
Video games, board games?
Board games, all board games.
Okay.
And like card games and stuff like that. Like there's one big...
Nerd!
Yeah, well, man, we'll get to that. There's one hall which is all for the games, and then two huge, massive halls at the Birmingham... is it the NEC or something like that? Anyway. Yeah, so we went there because we were buying a very elaborate, over-the-top gaming table, which is like a dining table and a gaming table, and it's horrifically pointless, but it also makes me really hard. And so they were like, yeah, go to Game Expo, we're there too. And they were like the best dressed people there. It was pretty cool. Anyway, GEEKNSON, if you're going to get a gaming table, best table, way better than Wormwood. GEEKNSON, look them up.
GEEKNSON, I thought it was Geek and Sundry.
No, that's the like Critical Role nerdy kind of platform place. This is a place called, I think a Polish company, but they've got a place in Cheltenham. Anyway, GEEKNSON is GEEKNSON, all one word, GEEKNSON. Anyway, yeah, Game Expo, awesome. So many dice stands. Oh my god, there's only so many dice you can have. But I did buy a £60 set of D&D dice.
Oh yeah, you told me about these, and I was just like, what is going on in your brain?
Carved stone. Oh, they feel so good in my hands. So not worth £60, but they
£60.
£60 for 7 dice. Yep, that's right. And
I bet you're going to find them on eBay next week for £8.
There was a really cool place we went to, like Hero Forge, where you can design your own like mini to be like your D&D character or whatever. There was a similar place called Eldritch Foundry, and they were basically like giving away their minis for like a £5 when they're worth like 30. So you just sat there like designing characters for like a couple hours. Only downside, there's some very, very stinky nerds out there, Lewis. Very like hygiene is like an issue in that community. But there was one particular bit. My mate was trying to get to this stand of the minis that he liked, miniatures. And we're like bunched up. It's super crowded, so it's always bunched up anyway. Get super close up behind this guy, and my mate turns around and goes, "Oh my god, this guy honks so hard." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." There's so many people here, fucking reek. So we carry on, like kind of bustling forward to try and get to the front. And he's like, "Nah, gotta go. I just gotta go." Like he couldn't stand being next to that guy. He wanted to see the minis. Bailed. Didn't even see them. Anyway, stinky nerds. Game Expo was awesome. Big shout out to Eldritch Foundry and GEEKNSON. So yeah.
Well, that's the problem though, because it's not just the smell. You're looking at this guy thinking, you haven't washed in so long, and I'm in a crowd, and I don't want to be pushed up against you.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, how do you not know? How do you not know?
That no, they just give up. I'm sorry, but it is a real issue in some of the circles which we dabble in. Not us. I'll make it known. Not us. We shower almost every single day, Isaac.
Yeah, it's just a kind of niche of nerds. I guess it attracts...
We do that on webcam as well, but...
Anyway, that's my recent stuff.
Smelly fat bastards.
Smelly fat people and very expensive dice.
If anyone out there happens to see our logo and recognises Isaac from that Comic-Con and you're big and fat and smelly, he's talking about you. Sort yourself out.
Just so many people. Yes. Well, last week, Lewis, we ran out of time again for our poor management skills, and we missed out RPG stuff. I had one ready. I'll be honest. It just kind of starts on a funny note, and then I don't know what's going to happen. I know that's like most...
Well, Isaac, tell me more. It sounds like we're having a problem here, but what could be the solution?
I guess we'll figure it out. I think we should stuff this butt. Okay, let's get straight into space D&D. Bit of RPG stuff. It's my turn to push Leslie the Lizard Man around in his little rat maze, looking for the lizard cheese, a delicacy on his planet. Would it be a delicacy? Nah, it'd be too common, wouldn't it? The lizard cheese.
God, maybe it's harvested from the egg sac and it's some sort of like hanky-panky.
God, your mind went straight to like eating placenta.
No, maybe it's like something you do on your wedding night. You share the lizard cheese.
Side note: when me and my
making myself feel sick.
Bad side note: when me and Becca were pregnant.
Oh God, where's this story?
Yeah, I know. But that the topic of the placenta came up, and we went on a little like Google disgusting hole of all the things that people do with placentas.
Burn it. Get rid of it. Like, fucking hell.
You can I could turn it into a milkshake.
Why?
One of them was offering like a finger painting service. You could like have a little name finger painted in placenta. You could turn it into rings. You could do loads of stuff with placenta. There's like a whole business about it. Are you Googling it? Your face.
No, what I'm doing, listeners, is I'm going to be posting the picture of my face that I just had on our channels when we launch this episode. What made Lewis's face go like this?
Anyway,
that's the moment.
That was a fun side note.
Christ, man.
Diving, yeah, I know. It's a whole haunting thing. Anyway.
Burn it. Just get rid of it.
Leslie the Lizard Man and his lizard cheese. Right.
Good afternoon.
RPG stuff. You are zooming through space in your wooden prawn-shaped spaceship, which you've named twice. I think the first episode you called it All Hands on Deck. And then in like the episode...
All Hands on Deck, and then it's the calamari.
And then the calamari was the second one. Which one do you want to stick with?
Yeah.
We've also named the robot Matt and Mark.
All right, we don't take the best... Well, actually, evidently we do take notes. We just don't read them. The All Hands on Calamari. Let's combine them.
Okay, the All Hands on Calamari. Oh my god, worst name. Zooming
the
through
all
space.
hands. No, let's get all of the names together. All Hands on Calamari. No,
oh, no,
that's terrible.
No, I hate that one.
Just the calamari's the fine.
Just the calamari. Zooming through space. When it's been a long day. Does it make that noise like a race car?
It just plays it inside the ship.
No, it's just like one of those pieces of plastic going on the spokes of a wheel.
Inexplicably turned.
And you want to return to your quarters for whatever reason. You're tired, left your favourite jar of lizard milk there. I don't know. And the door opens. There's like some strange music on. It's quite soft. It's quite swaying. There seems to be some kind of debris scattered across the floor, leading towards your crib, we'll call it.
I close the door and walk into another bedroom. No, that's not the gist of improv.
Just no in a very literal sense. Yes and nope.
Okay. Any more or my turn?
Just music, debris on the floor. It seems.
What kind of music?
Slow, soft, nice.
Gideon, which is the name I've given to that purple, like, tentacle creature.
Gideon.
Gideon.
Okay.
Giddy, are you in here?
Yes.
I would prefer it if you vacated my quarters. I told you about this.
But I gathered the petals specially for you.
Gideon, please. I mean, number one, that's offensive in my culture. You should know that. I gave you the encyclopedia, the Lizard People Encyclopedia.
I just looked at the pictures.
So you turn to page 45 where it says, right here, and I pick up the book.
It's always at hand.
The desecration of plants is an absolute no-no to the people other than harvesting wood for spacecraft.
I really thought this one would work. And he like slides out from your bed sheets, completely nude, and just like crestful, shoulders sunk, head down, just kind of shuffles out. Just like, just a little slap and tickle.
Gideon, please, I'm not in the mood.
Like you've done this every night. there's always an advance. Yeah.
Wait, what kind of body is he in again? Is it a human body?
I described it as like androgynous human-like body, so
okay.
we can be a little
make it
loose,
up on the fly
as we do. Yeah, this whole thing. And that's when one of your screens, one of your monitors, blinks on with a favourite theme tune of yours. What is the name of your favourite? It can be a black market or just a market, some kind of place where you'd shop for your favourite things.
Ooh, okay.
Take time.
Let's think.
You can always cut it out.
Let's go with Craig's Black Market Stall, and his theme music is Craig's Market.
And it's just like a really cheesy American kind of telemartial, whatever you call it, voice.
What's American?
You know what I mean.
Isaac?
I'm talking out of character. And it's like, space slugs entering unwanted orifices. Well, Craig's got a thing for that. Try the Insta-Slug away. Spray it on your anus, mouth, nose, eyes, ears, other orifices, no slugs, 24 cycles. Come on down to Craig's Black Market Stall. Craig.
Hey Gideon,
I'm not talking to you.
are you a slug, Gideon? I was just wondering if what kind of creature you are. You looked more like an octopus, but are you some form of slug?
Well, you didn't read my encyclopedia. And storms off.
That was just a picture of your genitals.
You say as he walks away down the corridor, slightly grinning that you can't see.
Hey, Matthew? I think your name's Matthew.
He scuttles in after a minute or two. You just wait. Coming, sir. Every 15 seconds on the dot. Yep, on the way. big spaceship. He finally scuttles in. Yes,
like
master.
stopping at each intercom. I guess.
Yeah.
On my way. Coming.
Scuttles in. Yes, master.
I think we're going to be heading over to Craig's. We haven't got very much contraband, and I've seen a new advert about a sort of slug, I should say, spray away that I'm interested in looking at, because if you know, I hate one thing, is dirty slugs.
Wow, sir. Yes. Over to Craig's. Sure, we'll be there in 10. And he goes.
10 what?
Bye, 10. And
Dirty slugs.
where does this come from? He just
I don't know.
8 slugs.
It's called backstory, Isaac, and we don't have
Can
any.
I interest you in the Slug Wars? Okay. You go to Craig's, wherever that is. Where's Craig's?
After 10.
After 10. Where is Craig's? Some kind of nebula, some old ancient alien.
It's in an asteroid field, filled with quite large asteroids, and it's one that looks like an asteroid, but it's all man-made, or no, let's say hollowed out, and so it's very hard to get to it because it's constantly in the move in the asteroid field.
Okay.
You need to be on a certain frequency to get the coordinates through, or something. Let's say.
Yeah, you tune to the frequency and it goes Craig, and you hear
Turn left.
you hear a very bored voice on the other end. It's like, yeah, hello.
Good afternoon. I was hoping to do some shopping in Craig's Black Market Store. S'il vous plaît.
What's the password?
buttons.
Entry granted.
Yay!
And you pull into the asteroid, dock, do your thing. Where are you headed? Is it just Craig's in here, or is it like a mall of black market people? What else is going on?
It's surprisingly, it's a whole asteroid, but there's like one little docking area where everyone lands, and then there's like a shabby wooden stall just behind a little barrier. And you just go up to him and say what he wants, and then someone will bring it out from the back.
It's just like Argos.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of, but like it's really like if you walked up, you'd just be like, it's just a guy standing at a little wooden table,
giving me a lot to work with. Thank you.
Well, there's loads in the back.
Okay.
Well, there's lots of. I get in the queue. There's like 30 people.
Oh, okay. Who else is in the queue? Who can you see?
So I don't recognise most people,
No.
but I do recognise.
I mean, like races, kind of thing like that.
So there's like an antelope man, which just looks like an antelope wearing trousers, but he has hands instead of hooves.
Okay. One more, at least.
A fish person in a giant fish bowl, it's like an orb fish bowl, and he just has little controls. He's like a goldfish with little tiny arms, and there's little joysticks in there, and he just makes the goldfish bowl roll around.
Like a hamster ball. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. What do you do to kill time in the queue?
I pull out my little pad, like my little data pad. Let's
Sure.
call it a data pad. And start playing some Sudoku.
Sudoku. Okay, space Sudoku.
Ooh, this is a real tough one.
Suddenly, you're at the front of the queue. How exciting. Craig
How the
is...
fuck did a 12 get in here?
Craig is obviously on the other side of the stand. Is he like sharp dressed, or is he kind of shabby? What does he look like?
He looks like a 1960s used car salesman.
Kind of what I had in mind. Yeah. And he's got like
Pinstripe suit, hat with a big feather.
chunky watch, hat with a big feather. Okay.
Yeah, kind of pimpish.
Who is this car salesman?
Well, he's very wealthy. This is the top of fashion in this universe.
In the universe. That
In
hat.
the whole universe.
Feathered hats. Okay. Sure. Craig is what, a white human man? Or what are we looking at?
No, he's one of the antelope people.
So the horns like pierce through the hat, and there's just like...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And they walk on their feet with their hands like normal men or women.
Yeah, what's that, like BoJack Horseman?
With just real hands. It's so unnerving.
But when they eat, they go onto all fours. I don't know why. I'm just throwing that.
So there's like a trough next to the stool, just on the
Filled
floor.
with wine.
It's wine trough. Excuse me. He comes up, wipes his face. Leslie, a good old pal. What can I do for today? Any more toilet roll or butt plugs?
Well, today, Craig, I've come to you with a little agenda. I've got a little shopping list. So, number one, yes, I would love some more toilet paper, please. Mm-hmm. I've also was hoping to get one of those slug sprays that I heard the advert about. That definitely piqued my interest.
Oh, yes, they are selling like bloody butt plugs.
Like bloody butt plugs. You sell it as a used butt plug market.
That's a specialty, actually. I'm going in your voice. That's a specialty, Leslie friend.
Excellent. And also, I've got some global wonks on here as well.
Gobble wonks.
Global wonks. You know, I pick them up every other time I'm here.
Oh, this is on the list. Sorry, I thought you were trying to sell me stuff. Right.
No.
Global wonks, yeah, no, that's on standing order, actually.
Salted global wonks.
Bloodied or not?
Half and half. I'll take 1,000.
1,000 global wonks, half and half blood, and a bit of salt.
Half and half.
Half and half. Look, man, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, and anything else? Can I interest you in some kind of weaponry? We have anti-aircraft cannons in today.
No, but I was hoping for some raisined sandpaper as well.
But yes, sure, that's a bit lower tech than I imagined. Not much of a bill today.
Well, you know, I wanted to get 2,000 reams of it.
All right, what about this sonic watch that, when you press the button on the side, makes your worst enemy fall to their knees and beg for mercy?
I'll take 2.
2 watches, yes. All right, and how will you be paying today, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what here. Now, the other day, I was back on my home planet. Tragic circumstance. I was there, and those chameleon peoples, you know, the ones I was telling you about, terrible people. They killed me brother cousin Keith.
Wait, not brother cousin Keith.
My brother cousin Keith.
Quickly,
He's gone.
We should talk in private about this. And he puts up a little sign. It's no high tech, and it's literally just like a piece of cardboard that he's written like 5 mins on. And he ushers you back behind the stool and just like crouches down, goes under the stool. Just coming down to the office.
No, nobody listen.
He's like on all fours, like hunched up in his little antelope hands in the dust.
I imagine his back is above the level of the table, but his head's just poking down, and I'm sort of lying on the floor next to him.
Comfy.
As always. My brother Keith, he was shot point blank by those dirty bastards. You know, they're almost as bad as slugs.
Let me get you some of that toilet roll for your eyes that are leaking.
Thank you.
Just magically appears from a little one of those like Futurama tubes. Things just kind of flop in that he calls for.
Under the wooden desk.
Yeah, it could be anything. Anti-aircraft cannon.
Yeah.
Boom. And what are you going to do about this? A slaying of the family.
Well, my first instinct was to run away, and I've kind of decided to stick with that, so I haven't returned.
Right, so you need something to go faster.
I mean,
away from danger, or do you want bigger guns to go towards danger?
I like the first option more than the second one, I'll be honest with you. Because
Why don't both?
Big guns to go equidistantly close to and far away from danger.
It's where they'd at least expect you.
You know what? It's cunning in its simplicity.
Well, as you know, brother, cousin Keith was a good lover of mine, and this is grave news.
He was never the same after your breakup.
How about I throw in another watch? Another Beg for Mercy watch. They call them the Pleadum 3000.
Pleadum 3000, you say? That wasn't quite my accent.
Yeah, the Pleadum 3000, just say.
Oh, darling. You know what? I think that's fair. How much is there any chance I can take it on credit for the moment, and then I'm gonna go back? I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna get revenge for brother cousin Keith. I'm getting all feral. I'm going into the feral state.
I'm going credit. You know that's it's a no-fly zone with Craig. I'm gonna need some collateral. Have you got something I could?
I've got my friend. Why don't you take my friend here, and then you can keep him until I get back.
Someone that I have to feed, and.
No, just don't let him. Just put him in a room and lock the door, and don't let him anywhere near you.
A prisoner of yours.
Well,
can I sell him? If the time comes and you have not paid up, I will have to sell him. That is the whole purpose of collateral.
You know what? I'm a man of my word, and for once, it's time for Leslie to pull up his trousers, zip up his egg sack, and finally be brave.
Do you need zips? I've got zips.
I've already zipped up tight. But what I think is, I think it's time I go back and really, really take revenge. So what I would suggest is that if I don't make it, I will get Matthew to fly my ship back, and it will be yours, and that will be payment. I will pre-program him to do that, and you can come and watch the programming yourself.
Leslie, you're an honest lizard man.
And if I kill him, I'll get his loot and I'll pay you.
Yeah. Just one more favour for old Craigie. Get me a jar of that sweet, sweet lizard milk.
Sure.
All right. That's all I got, man.
To be continued. We said we were never going to do this again, but to be continued.
I just wasn't feeling it. I feel like my plan wasn't good enough.
A lot of epic dice rolls there.
Yeah, I know. As soon as you mentioned it, I was like, it does not even fucking occur to me.
Yeah, we just had a fun story.
There wasn't much confrontation in there. Should we leave it? I mean, we're cutting this, obviously. Should we just leave it and tidy it up a bit?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck it. Well, yeah. So I guess we'll see where Leslie ends up next time. Or maybe we won't continue with that. We have a great track record of being inconsistent, so we should be consistent with our inconsistency.
We'll just link it up how it fits. It's fine. A little bit of
Next episode starts with me standing over my enemy's smoking corpse.
Well, I was kind of thinking we'd have like a little shopping episode and there'd be loads of cool stuff around, but you gave me like an empty shell and a trough of wine.
Improv is all about challenging your partner.
Well, there are other things too. Yes. Well, we made it through, and it's time for my movie.
Did you make it?
I made this movie with
fucking exceptional work there.
So you liked it?
Well,
to
crack off again, this is, was it 2007? You do the intro, it's your movie.
Okay, fair enough. Fucking hell, I'm way off my game. Planet Terror 2007. So this is quite literally a B movie. It was, for those that don't know, a B movie back in the day was made to essentially support, well, I get no one really called it the A movie, but when a new movie was released, the B movie was there to kind of just like support it and put it into the cinema, and people would go for the whole day and blah, blah, blah. So this is the B movie to Death Proof, which is, and as a pair, these two movies, Planet Terror and Death Proof, are known as Grindhouse. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I thought it was the production house.
No, it's Grindhouse. That's the two movies together. So this one, Planet Terror, me and Lewis, before the days of Netflix, we used to do something called Love Film, which I think is how Netflix started as well, with the same model of sending DVDs out to people and you return them. It's a kind of like renting movies. The beginning of the end of Blockbuster. And we got this movie on the random list because it had a pretty shitty selection of movies.
You say that, but there's several movies which we watched off of there which stick with me.
100%.
This is one of them.
This is a big
Martyrs.
one. We watched this movie many times. And the best bit, it starts out with like some fake adverts. Or at least one, which is funny because they then made it into a movie, which is Machete. Machete. With what's his fucking name? Danny Trejo.
And Steven Seagal.
Is it?
Yeah, he's one of the baddies.
Oh, in the actual movie, not the not the fake advert, which has
no, in Machete, he's in it.
He's like, it's got Cheech in it, who's like the priest with the guns and stuff. Anyway, that advert's amazing. Like this over-the-top voiceover, loads of tits, loads of machetes, like so many machetes.
It's amazing.
And the line, they just fucked with the wrong Mexican. And then amazing, it became a trilogy. And then the kind of horrific irony, or I don't know what you'd call it, the grim stuff we're probably not going to talk about, is it flashes up with the Weinstein Company, and then it immediately cuts to Rose McGowan stripping. Yeah. So that was a bit grim. But yeah, I remember why we liked it when we were 17, because it's like 5 minutes of Rose McGowan just slowly dancing and crying. She's also crying.
That's why I liked it.
I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's quite clear, but this film is a fucking riot. It's so much fun. It's so stupid. It's so horrible. It's gory. It's awful. Like, it's just everything turned up to 11, including the saturation of the actual cameras.
Yeah, and it's like even the camera is like glitchy and spotty, like the shot.
Yeah.
And I took that to be like, it's a big signpost saying this isn't serious. We know it's an unnecessary joke. Like, they don't need to put this silly film reel effect over the top. It's just to remind you, this is crazy shit, okay? Are you ready? Because here's a guy with a jar full of testicles.
Yes. Well, before we even get to that, I think that this is an insight into the mind of Robert Rodriguez. Is that the director?
Yeah.
I swear it's... Yeah. Because when you're watching the credits at the start, almost everything is by him. He's the director. He's the producer. He's the director of photography. He did the cast. He did this. He did that. It's all him. And then... So, before we even get to that, at the end of... When she's, like, leaving the strip club...
Oh, the crying
She just doesn't take her money.
Yeah.
She just doesn't take her money. I was just like... You're up there crying and you hate your job. At least take... You're not doing this for the love of it. Take the fucking money.
Yeah, with the sleazy strip club owner as well. Who, like... So she doesn't take the money from the stage, and then she's like, fuck you, I'm leaving. And he's like, holds up a wad of cash, and she takes half. And I was like, take the whole handful.
Yeah, he's like, here's your money, and she takes some of it. Like, it's weird.
Okay.
But then let's jump right back to the testicles, Isaac, because I entirely forgot the whole testicle thing in this film.
Yeah, so the actor is Naveen Andrews, and the only other thing I've seen him in is Lost. He's like the Indian guy in Lost. And he...
With like a really thick British accent in this. He's like, good hello, darling.
Yeah. So some military jeeps turn up to like a kind of abandoned landing strip, and there's some kind of deal about to go down, but the people that are selling the stuff have fucked up, and Naveen Andrews' character comes out and basically threatens the guy who fucked up that he's going to cut his balls off, and holds up a testicle knife that he made specially. It's like a knife with a big curved bit at the end that you can imagine.
Bespoke.
Like a kind of fishing knife that you just kind of, a bespoke knife. And he has he says, I'm going to take your testicles. This random actor you don't care about and he's about to die, says, I'm really quite attached to them. That was brilliant. And then they get the guy and they're about to take his balls off. And Naveen Andrews pulls out like a testicle grabber device. So he's got a testicle knife and a testicle grabber and a jar full of floating testicles. He just really likes testicles.
And then I love how shit starts kicking off, like a sort of a fight breaks out, and his jar of testicles drops to the floor, and he doesn't want to get shot. He's going to run away, but he has to grab handfuls of the now loose testicles and shove them in his pockets.
Yeah, he takes them for the road.
Yeah, and they're like big. Is it just me, or are those big testicles?
They're just like...
Have they like swollen up as they're pickled or something? Because those are like gorilla nuts.
They're like rubber bouncy balls, but he loves them so much that he has to take a few when he runs away. And the immediate... Like, when people get shot in this, they fucking explode. Or, like, they're like dummies on wires that get, like, yanked and pulled away because people just fly around and explode with blood. Fucking amazing. And again, it's just this... You don't take this seriously. This is an absolute joke. There's a testicle jar, people are flying and exploding, and you can't see through the spotty camera. But, considering it's an absolute joke... don't know who. I think it's important to name people. The cast is fucking insane. So
insane.
Rose McGowan, everyone knows. Bruce Willis doesn't need more of an introduction. Tarantino, who's credited as rapist number 1. We'll get back to him later.
Yes, we mentioned that last week.
Danny Trejo, Cheech from Cheech and Chong. Fucking Fergie from Black Eyed Peas turns up for a cameo, which I'll get to in a minute as well. I just want to list them all because it's amazing. Michael Biehn, who's Kyle in Terminator 1 and Hicks in Terminator 2. So one of the sheriffs, not the sheriff, one of the deputies is Tom Savini, So he's George
Yeah.
Romero's special effects guy. So like Living Dead and Creepshow. So like a huge name.
Yeah.
And the woman from the Scream movies and Sin City and Death Proof, actually, Marley Shelton. And then the last guy, who's the cook, JT. So this cook, he always comes out of his like grill house and
Goddamn
says,
barbecue sauce.
the best grill in Texas. He's called Jeff Fahey. And I hadn't really known him before, but I looked at his IMDb and it's full of movies that we need to do. And I'm going to read you a few titles. One of them has come up before, and I did a deep dive into it before I even knew it was this Jeff Fahey guy. Lawnmower Man, which is like an insane cyber trip movie. It's crazy shit.
Isn't that a Stephen... Oh, what's his
Cronenberg?
name? No, the guy who wrote It.
Oh, Stephen King.
The writer. Stephen King, yeah. Isn't that a Stephen King thing?
I don't think it is. If it is, I'm ashamed. That's just one of the titles on this guy's filmography. So, Lawnmower Man. We've got Alien Tornado.
It is. It's The Lawnmower Man was written by Stephen King.
Amazing.
A short story by Stephen King.
Well, it's fucking dreadful. Alien Tornado. Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die. And Atomic Shark, which I thought would be fun. There's a new movie coming out, which I thought would be good on our list, called Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah, that's got a guy who does loads of really good Instagram things. You know, the one who's just like the one about employees working in like IKEA and stuff, and then he's just like,
oh yeah,
the discount's ended, but can I get it anyway? And it was like,
they're really funny. We'll put a link in the thing. And this guy Jeff Fahey has the best line of the movie as Fergie drives away. Now that's a rump roast.
You've forgotten though to mention the actual star of this movie, the lead character Freddie Rodriguez, who is genuinely awesome in this.
Yeah, who's Carla's brother in Scrubs.
Yes, that's probably the like biggest thing I've seen.
And he's not related to Robert Rodriguez, by the way.
I have no idea.
No, he's not. I made sure.
But my next note here is that this film pretty much has every single trope in it. Like, they're at the bar and it's just like turns around and his ex-girlfriend's there and she's just like, oh, you left me, but I took your jacket. And there's and like you said beforehand, like gratuitous blood, stupid action, all this. But it works so well because it's leaning so hard into it.
That's what I've always said.
I fucking love it.
A movie that knows it's a joke is just extra joke. That's a bad sentence, this. It's a really bad sentence.
The next note that I have is my favourite line in this movie. She could suck the bend out of a river.
Suck the bend out of a river.
I heard that and I was like, did I hear that right? I had to go back and listen again. I was like, yeah, I did. That's amazing.
I like it when there's a Chinese guy speaking English, but they subtitle him anyway. So it just seems mean. There's obviously a joke, and hopefully he was in on it, but he's just speaking English. And they just throw the only subtitles in the movie.
The next note that I have is, wow, the infected penis. When the first sort of sign, because this film is like about an infectious, like weaponized disease, and there's a guy who goes in and he's just like, oh yeah, this thing bit me on the arm. It was like a bobcat or something, I can't remember. But then like the other, like one of the doctors, Josh Brolin, is looking at it, and then his mate, and then another doctor's just at the computer just like spouting all these like horrible things, and being like, oh yeah, if you get this thing you'll be dead in half a day, yeah, it will go black and fall off and fungus. And then and he goes, look at this, and it just flashes up this dick with it. It's a real photo of this diseased dick, and it's horrible.
But that guy's so excited about all those pictures. He loves his job. Loves his job. It
makes you, if you are someone who goes out and sleeps with random people, this will make you wear condoms, honestly.
So yeah, you're right. I'm not covering any plot whatsoever. So yeah, we've got Freddie Rodriguez teaming up with Rose McGowan. He's like a mercenary bounty hunter, something they never explain, but the cops fucking hate him. Michael Biehn's sheriff fucking hates him.
The main guy.
Yeah.
I think he's just a trucker. because he's in a truck.
Well, no, because like the sheriff is like, we're not giving you a gun, and like does all this like he knows him, like he's a badass.
Yeah, I think the whole point is like they're in their hometown and he's a bit of a wrong'un, but I don't know what his. I don't think he's a bounty. I think his job is a trucker, but he's just a bit of a wrong'un.
Okay,
I don't know.
So so this. That deal at the beginning basically like releases this green gas, and people start turning into like rabid zombies, essentially. So that guy who got bit on the arm, who's in the hospital, that has like some of the nastiest effects in the whole movie. When everything like goes to shit, breaks apart, and like the zombie outbreak happens. Josh Brolin gets like pushed up against a wall by this zombie. Who like pulls a pussy nodule off of his face and smears it onto Josh Brolin like super slowly, just full of disease and shit. And then there's just like an amazing siege scene. Is there anything else you had? Because who have we set up? There's the doctor and his wife who kind of hate each other. They've got a son.
One of the most, I was about to say, one of the most brutal bits of this film is that the wife is, a little bit later on. I mean, I literally have a note here saying, I feel like I'm not making enough notes because I'm just enjoying this film too much.
It's crazy because every scene is just another thread or something going on. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with.
But it gets to a point where, like, obviously there's a problem and there's, like, the wife of the doctor is running away from Josh Brolin, the doctor, and she's just, like, is running into her parents' house, and her dad's the sheriff. And she's there with her kid in the car, and she's just like, you need to stay here. She hands him a gun, and it's just like, if anyone comes up to the car, you shoot them. And he's just like, well, what if Dad comes up? And she says, definitely shoot him, but be really, really careful with this. Really, really careful.
She literally says, careful, you'll shoot yourself. And then leaves.
And then she gets out of the car, takes like 3 steps, and you hear a bang, and the kid's just blown his head off.
Yeah. And then it kind of cuts to later, where she's gone to the sheriff's, her dad's house, and then turned up at the like gas station. We'll cover this a bit later. She's holding her corpse son still.
Yes, who is an obvious doll.
Yeah,
running
obviously.
around with it at one point. It's just like flopping.
You jumped way ahead because there's the hospital. I like there's like a siege on the police station.
That's cool.
Everyone's got a revolver with like 100 bullets in.
There's no one reloads once.
So much bullet spraying and explosions. Like the whole scene is just amazing as it just like explodes. So it's like the police station's being sieged by zombies, the hospital's being sieged. Rose McGowan's had her leg torn off by zombies, so Freddy Rodriguez has gone back to get her for, I guess he loves her. I don't know.
They were in a relationship before the film.
Yeah, so he's trying to save her from the hospital. And what does he stick on her leg? It's like a foreshadowing. A crutch.
It's like a peg leg.
It's like a crutch.
No. It's just a table leg. It's like wooden table leg.
Yeah, so she's hobbling around, and then so the doctor's wife is an anaesthetist, and she's got these 3 needles which, dumb the pain.
Her little friends.
Her little friends, and Josh Brolin like shoots her up with them in the hands. So her hands are dead, and then there's a scene. He locks her in the office in the hospital, and then leaves, and all the shit breaks out. So she's trapped in there. So to escape, this is like the 1st or 2nd floor window. To escape, it's like a zoomed out camera angle from the street, and it's up. You can see the window, you can see the hospital, and the chaos happening. She like jumps face first out the plate glass window. Like it's all, again, obviously a doll that's just been launched at the window, falls 2 stories down, and just like crashes into some like car wreckage or something, and then just like springs up absolutely fine. But she like toddles along in her heels, and her wrists are broken and just like flopping around, and she tries. It's a horrible bit. Again,
they're not broken yet, are they?
Oh, sorry. I'm jumping the gun.
They're anaesthetized.
They're anaesthetized, flopping around anaesthetized. What I'm about to say is she gets to her car and tries to get in, but slips and just cracks her wrist open, like so bad. Not open, just like pulled. You can see those Tom Savini effects coming in. Again, the body horror The body horror in this is just off the scale. Proper old school Night of the Living Dead stuff. Loads of plasticine being pulled apart.
Well, I'm just clocking now, though. Later on, she's just healed, because she's just, like, riding motorbikes and shooting people and stuff.
Well, it also takes a really long time for the anaesthetic to wear off. It doesn't take that long. She only gets the first one of the 3.
I think she gets 1 or 2. I'm not sure.
Just the first one.
And then my next note here is punch shooting for more power. So you punch as you shoot.
They all punch. Bang. And that's the bit outside the police station where Tom Savini and Michael Biehn, the cops, are essentially shooting people. Oh, they're outside the hospital. And Tom Savini like blasts a patient with a shotgun who's just like fleeing for help towards them, just like help.
Yeah.
Michael Biehn, the sheriff, is just like, you fucking idiot. Just murdered someone.
Michael Biehn?
Is it Michael Biehn?
I'm sure it's Michael Biehn.
Biehn. I took the
I'm sure it's pronounced Bean.
Well, I've been saying Michael Biehn.
Sure,
you know what?
Michael Biehn.
We'll put it to the polls.
Yeah.
We'll do
People
another
out
poll.
there, how does this man, who will very obviously say his name one way...
I could just Google this.
No, we'll let the people tell us. And we will go with your answer. So it will be Biehn, Bean, or Lavender. And then we must call him Michael Lavender.
Have you got anything else in the hospital?
No. Well, my next note, as I said, because I was just enjoying the film too much, is the kid killing himself, and that's after the hospital.
Wow, you did skip ahead, because before they flee and before the kid kills himself, he's desperate to get his pets. So my note was, who gives their kid, these are his pets, a tarantula, a scorpion, and a turtle? What a strange assortment of animals. And then I immediately
he puts them all in like one tub together, doesn't he?
He's like, they'll survive, which I think might be true. But I wrote, who gives their kid a tarantula, scorpion, and a turtle? And then immediately, ha 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 ha, the same people that give him a massive gun. Careful, you'll shoot yourself. Immediately shoots himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Michael Biehn has the scene where he deputizes people. He just has like a glove box full of sheriff's badges, just hands them out, and has the line.
Like this happens fairly regularly.
Yeah. Just as random people. It makes everyone deputies, and he has the line, trying to shoot yourselves, and then he starts walking, turns back, and don't shoot each other, and then he walks and turns back. And especially don't shoot me. And I thought that was really nice.
Well, this is the point in the film as well, where inexplicably loads of hot girls turn up.
Yep. I wrote that down.
Like the doctor's wife whose kid kills herself, she like rips her sleeves off and like makes her skirt shorter. Rose McGowan like has an outfit change for some reason and looks a lot sluttier. And like from the strip club that she used to work at, a couple strippers are there with her boss, and then just an unannounced policewoman, just in like a super short skirt and low cut top, is just there as well.
Yeah, no, I was about the policewoman was the one I made a note about, because she's in cop outfit, but she's like done like the Britney Spears kind of like tie through where you like tie it so up the midriff.
Yes, she did.
And I was like, but why? But yeah, I wrote down like they're making fun of the trope of over-sexualized women. Like, I don't want to be like,
yes.
But you know, they are mocking it. It's satire.
And they literally give them no lines other than the two. There's two women with speaking roles in this film.
Yeah. And that's okay.
The next one. Well, the next note I have here, I don't know if you have anything before it, but the missing reel bit.
Yeah, that's my next one. So the sex scene.
So good.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, no, the missing reel bit is when they're like going back to the bar or something, and they're just like, right, we're going to take this place, and then it goes like missing reel, and then it's just like, bah, and the building's like burning and on fire, and loads of them are injured.
They go to JT's barbecue place, and everyone kind of has a breather from the zombie invasion, and then Rose McGowan, who's missing a leg and has like a peg leg, she hasn't got a gun on it yet, has she?
Well, way to spoil it, I think.
No, she doesn't have the gun on it yet. It's pretty much on the cover.
Yeah.
They start like, getting close, baby. Ooh. Like your Gideon Leslie friend gets the petals on the floor and puts on the music. They're getting down and dirty. real butt stuff style. And before anything really happens, that's when the missing reel comes up, and then it's just a shot of the barbecue house on fire. That's it goes from peace and calm to absolute chaos with no explanation, and they don't tell you. It just happens. Everything's on fire. Time to go. More action, basically.
Yeah, like, how long is this film? Because the whole thing feels like it moves at a clip. It's really brisk, and little things like that definitely cut out like 10, 15 minutes where it just makes it better and you just laugh your head off.
And it's when El Rey, who's Freddy Rodriguez's character, finally gets guns, and there's like angelic music, and he starts like spinning them like a kind of gunslinger.
Like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so pointlessly.
And yeah, just way over the top for like 2 minutes. And then Tom Savini gets ripped apart, like so, like his body double. The thing is, it's funny because he probably made that out of like the costume thing, but it just like, yeah, he gets pulled in like 4 directions by zombies. It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
And then the next amazing bit, which I'm sure you've made a note of because it's just so in your face. They escape the smokehouse, and what's Freddy Rodriguez driving?
Well, they escape the roadhouse. They've got like a cool car and a motorbike,
Big
and the
motorbike.
girls will jump in the back of the car, and it's like a Mustang or something. And then they've got the truck, and they got this convoy, and then they pull up like at the side of the road for El Rey to get his ride out. And it's a fucking mini motor.
Yeah, it's a mini motor kid's bike.
This he's just like, he like opens a boot and he's standing there, but with the woman whose car it is, and he's just like, what kind of speed you get out of this thing? She's like, oh, it's fast. And he's just like, badass.
And he's like the leader of the group on his little mini bike, and it's all the shots of them driving along, and he's at the front. Fucking incredible.
And then, throwback to last week, our favourite character we didn't even know was in this film. We find out who our saxophone survivor is.
Right? I've got that.
One of the credits. Yeah, amazing.
Wait, who is it? What?
I don't know who the fuck the actor is, but last week we were just like, one of the characters in this is just known as Saxophone Survivor. And I was just like, yes, we found our Saxophone Survivor.
Yeah, because they make their escape. They basically get ambushed or roadblocked by Bruce Willis's military guys and captured. And they take them to the brig, wherever that is. I wrote, put them in the brig. Yeah, let them keep the saxophone. Because they're just like all sad in prison, and there's a guy with a full-size saxophone just playing music in the prison, which I thought was amazing. So he's Saxophone Survivor. Oh, what a credit to your name.
What a throwback to last week. We were so young. I say last week, 2 weeks ago.
So they're captured by these military men, bunch of like pigs kind of thing, essentially. There's a little funny cutaway where it's the military people like essentially sitting around and surveilling the place, and they're watching TV, and the show that comes up is called Women in Cages. See them fight, see them fall in love. And it's just like women in prison being taken out and fighting in a mud pit. It's so weird.
Well, and this is where we meet one of the... Is he a hero? Is he a villain? We'll leave that for you to decide. But Quentin Tarantino, in his role in this film, rapist.
How is he a hero in any way? He is only a villain.
Isaac.
He's the nastiest villain in the movie.
It's called satire. And he goes to... Because the group gets captured by the military men, and the girls are sort of segregated. The Rose McGowan and the blonde one, the doctor wife, who is also a doctor. I don't know why we're not referring to her as a doctor.
Marley Shelton from Scream.
Yes. And, he goes and just tries to start raping him.
Yep.
But then, because of the disease, takes down his trousers, and they all look in horror because this disease, like, melts your skin and stuff, and his dick and balls are just falling off.
Oh, so disgustingly as well. You have like...
So goopy.
So gloopy. You have like a shot of like... So you pulled your trousers down, there's that kind of like A-frame gap between where your legs and your trousers are, facing away like towards the woman, and you just see this like splodge
testicle
down onto the floor. And he's like, I can work with that, or something horrible. Like, and he still tries to go and rape her.
because they have this gas, which is what they were trying to get from the Indian guy at the start, which like stops it from affecting them. And he's just like, his mate's just like, you need to have some of the gas. And he's just like, no, I'll just be quick.
Yeah.
It's like, your balls are falling off.
They've all fallen off.
Yeah.
And there's a bit
Ugh.
When Bruce Willis calls for Quentin Tarantino whilst Quentin is doing his nasty shit. He never actually rapes them, by the way. Obviously, he gets horribly murdered first. But whilst he's over there doing that, Bruce Willis's character, in the character, is just like, asks for Quentin Tarantino, and a random guard comes up and goes, "Oh, he's getting his dick wet, sir." Like, really casually.
I believe he's getting his dick wet.
And Bruce Willis is like, yeah, okay. And then,
oh right, I'll give him 5.
So
yeah, it's fucking rough.
So they do escape, obviously. So Abby, who is the name of Naveen, what's his name? Naveen Andrews. They kind of team up, and they have a confrontation with Bruce Willis. So this is El Rey and Abby, Testicle Man and Freddy Rodriguez, essentially those two. Bruce turns around and says, "Where's my guys?" And Abby just holds up a big slopping ball of testicles. A sloppy bag of testicles, and grins.
A sack, one may say.
So a sack of testicles. You'd think I'd get there in the end.
Yeah.
And I wrote, "I'm glad he had time for his hobbies." Because they're like, this place is falling apart and there's like military zombies everywhere with guns and shit, but he still had time to cut their balls off as he went.
Well, as we've just found out as well, he didn't need to cut Tarantino's balls off.
He just grab them.
Could just pick them up.
Just grab them.
But we briefly touched on it a moment ago, though. But the gun leg.
Yes, the gun leg.
It is amazing. This is like the poster of the film. It is so goddamn cool. Her leg gets cut off. So what do we put there? A gun with a grenade launcher.
It's a big old M16 just like clipped onto her leg. I don't know how she shoots it.
I was literally about to say, how does she pull the trigger?
How does she pull the trigger?
With her mind?
She just points her stump at people and they explode.
And
pretty good rocket.
She also uses the grenade launcher at one point to launch herself into the air.
Oh, she jumps over like a bus.
40 foot.
Yeah. Which the drop would just
flying.
Fucking break your other leg.
Just majestically flying through the air. Right after the Indian guy, he's like, they're like advancing on all of the army guys, and he's just like, right, I'll lead these guys. And so he runs off with a bunch of people, like sticks his head around a corner, his head just gets immediately blown.
It's even better because he's like, kind of turns around and he's like, "I've got to get through. I'm the neuroscientist. Like, you're all screwed without me, essentially." Then turns around and gets his head blown off. And like, there's now what? So this whole thing to get a cure is just over.
And as well, just because this film is amazing, the guy who owns the strip club can also just fly helicopters.
Yep. And it's completely unnecessary, but he gets a bunch of chopper blade kills as he kind of just like tilts the blades down and goes along the ground. And he shouts.
It's not unnecessary, it's fucking badass.
He shouts at one of the crazy Spanish babysitter twins, which we didn't talk about. That they're just some crazy
those horrible
bitches
women
that smash up a car because the woman said it's time to go. They're babysitters. That's what happens. You leave. Yes. They smash up. Anyway, she's like about to touch something, and the strip club owner's like, "Don't touch anything!" And then he does the chopper blade thing, and he's like, "Turn on the wiper blades," as it's like covered in gore. There's a little callback I've got to make. So earlier in the movie, Freddy Rodriguez shoots his. And he's talking about. When Rose McGowan gets her leg torn off, he like chases down the zombies, and they're not sure they're zombies yet, and so he brings her into hospital, and one of the doctors or something, he thinks it's like a deer or something that's gone crazy, or rabid like a bear, and he's like, "Are you sure you hit it?" He's like, "I never miss." So that's earlier in the movie, right at the beginning, and then
when he gets guns, it comes up again.
We've had a sex scene. And as Freddy Rodriguez dies, he just gets shot by someone random. Like he gets,
he gets blasted at one point.
He gets blasted. He's dying, and she basically, Rose McGowan crouches down. It's like, "I won't be alone," And
No, I don't. She says, "I don't want to be.
I don't want to be alone." And he like reaches up and touches her tummy and is just like, "I never miss." Essentially, like they had sex an hour ago. Yeah, amazing. And then because
bearing in mind they've obviously already had sex in the past as well. So was he aiming off target? Is that what he's suggesting before?
Sweet pull-out game, baby.
And then it has the epic ending where she's like a messiah leading people through the desert, and then some like zombies jump up at them.
Years later.
Yeah, no, it's like a year.
Yeah.
She's got a young baby on her back, and then some like zombies pop up. So what does she do? Pull up her leg, and what's she got there now? A fucking minigun, and just blast them. And
Waste
that's
of
the end
ammo.
of the film.
In an apocalypse, if you ask me. I know. So I guess the whole world crumbles then, because the neuroscientist got shot in the face. Abby, Naveen.
The guy even says it at one point that they are the people that are immune, hence they didn't die. So she's like leading the survivors.
Yeah, but he's the only guy that could make anything with their immune blood. So everything's just dead. Everything failed.
My last note is fucking dumb. Everything is stupid. I love it. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
We've done this before where
floppy. No, this is a sloppy boy. This one for me,
like literally sloppy. A bit like The King with
so
the mud.
Funny.
This is just full of special effects, blood and pus and shit.
If you watch this with friends, the group of you will laugh your head off the entire way through. I watched it on my own, and I was still laughing all the way through. It's amazing.
It's a great film, but we've come across this before where it's like the rating thing. I mean, not sloppy and floppy. That's obviously never going anywhere. But it's like, if you're in the mood for that movie, it's a 10 out of 10 kind of movie. It's a 10 out of 10 B movie, which inherently cannot be a 10 out of 10. But it's fucking amazing. It's like O'Gorman again, you know. It knows it's ridiculous and it leans into it, and it's so much fun. And the cast being like A-listers everywhere, big names.
But that's the point though. Like I think to make a proper shit movie that's amazing, it has to have a lower budget. I would say this is just a good movie, well made, that is taking the piss out of it.
Very well made, like well directed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's fun, really fun, great action.
Seriously recommend this one.
Yeah, really good. Okay,
this has got the butt seal of approval.
The butt seal of approval. I like that. Okay,
this has got the thumbs up butt.
Yeah.
The butt thumbs up?
I like both of those. The thumbs up butt doesn't quite make sense, but it's funny.
The butt seal.
The butt seal.
And then in brackets of approval.
The butt seal of approval. It doesn't need brackets. The butt seal of approval is great. I like that. Okay, that can stick around. Lewis.
Yeah.
How is your general knowledge?
My general knowledge is revered as being okay.
Well, that's why I didn't choose a general knowledge quiz. That's right, it's quiz stuff. Lewis. You always do this. We have music.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have an intro tune for quiz stuff.
Well, there it is. Perfect. We'll cut it out. Paste it everywhere. Between each segment. Just a little Batman segue. Lewis, which career would you most like to have? Doctor, detective, small business owner, robotics engineer, athlete, nanny.
Okay, so am I answering this truthfully?
I did the other day. It's up to you. Do what your heart says. Which career would you like to have? Doctor, detective, small business, robotics engineer, athlete, nanny.
I think the most fun out of them is detective.
Okay. I didn't expect that. So you went for
You thought robotics engineer, but I've dealt with a robot before. They're fucking annoying.
I could have seen you as a nanny.
No.
Thank you. Just nope. Pick a hobby. So when you're done detectiving for the day, what do you do to relax?
Detectivizing.
Detectivizing. What do you do to relax? Hiking, flower arranging, reading, watching TV, doing crossword puzzles, or yoga.
Good lord.
Do you want them again?
Let's go for reading, because I've mentioned books several times on this podcast, and I do enjoy a good book.
Okay. What's your favourite animal? Is it a dog, a cat, a rabbit, a chimpanzee, an elephant, or spiders, brackets, no picture in case of phobias? What if I've got an elephant phobia, Susan?
Yeah, fucking triggering cunts.
Terrifying rabbits. Have you seen the Holy Grail?
Exactly. Dog. I love doggies.
Okay. All right. Which city would you like to visit? I guess again for some of these: Bangkok, London, New York, Copenhagen, Mumbai, or Vancouver. Which one would you least like to visit again?
I mean, so Bangkok is a good laugh. I live in London, so fuck that. New York is super. I'm gonna go Bangkok.
You want to go back to Bangkok? You don't want to go to Mumbai?
No, it terrified the piss out of me.
Fuck
Thank
Mumbai.
you very much.
Not the people, I'm sure. Just the city. No, thank you.
Some of the people scared me,
True.
but not because of racism.
I swear. What's your favourite?
Will this survive into the episode? Who knows?
What's your favourite pizza topping? Pepperoni, green pepper, spinach, pineapple, just cheese, or mushroom?
Well, Isaac, you know me. I hate cheese. Yes, listeners, I don't eat. I have cheeseless pizzas. Come at me.
It's not a pizza.
I'm going to go with pepperoni out of them.
It's not a pizza if it's no cheese, but we'll go with pepperoni.
Then why would actually? There's the oregano pizza, which has just got tomato sauce and oregano. Obviously, I add toppings on that at Franco Manca, but that's on the pizza section. So fuck off.
I do like a good Franco Manca though. Oh.
And there are pizzas with white sauce instead of tomato sauce.
Yeah.
So
they get a bit rich though.
there are no rules, Isaac.
They get a bit rich. Becca has the carbonara pizza from Pizza Express. It's okay.
Please don't tell me that has pasta on it.
No, it's just the
God.
parmesan-y creamy sauce. Ooh. Have you had Pizza Pilgrims?
No, I've heard good things,
That's
but
good
it's
things.
it's like, isn't it like bottomless where they just keep bringing you slices and stuff?
No,
Okay.
it's just fucking delicious. I had a spicy honey pizza and it was ooh.
I'm sure they're going to be thrilled to be associated with us now.
Which dish do you like the most? Burger, spaghetti and meatballs, curry, chicken. It's not really a dish. Risotto, ramen. Just chicken. It's not a meal. You don't go to the restaurant like, yes, chicken.
Out of them, let's probably a burger, like a Five Guys burger. I fucking love it.
No, it's full of peanuts. Fucking Five Guys teasing me.
Just because you have a weak constitution.
I go past licking the windows. Every time I see one. Like, why did you put peanuts in the oil? Then they don't let me in. Pick something.
Your face blows up.
Pick something to drink. Water, coffee, hot chocolate, beer, wine, cocktail.
Beer. Love a beer.
Beer over a cocktail.
But there's nothing like a hot day and sitting in a shaded beer garden and having a crisp, cool pilsner or a lovely pint of lager.
I like it, but cocktail. I love a good cocktail.
The cocktails have more variety.
Oh, but they just smack you so hard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what if I want a Guinness? I can have a Guinea. What if I want a lovely pale ale? There's lots of options with beer.
You're taking your dog to Bangkok to read a book with your pepperoni and burger, with your beer.
While finding out where all the ladyboys went.
Okay, and finally, pick a TV show to watch. Seinfeld, which I've never watched but heard is fucking amazing. I kind of feel like I want to watch it at some point.
It was before our time.
I know, it's just too old. Gilmore Girls, The West Wing, again, never watched it, heard it's incredible. The Simpsons, The Office, Star Trek. So
it's definitely between the last three.
Yeah, obviously.
So Simpsons before, like, up to season 9 was incredible when the writing staff changed. The US Office is incredible, but the last couple seasons suck.
Yeah.
And I mean, Star Trek is so... I mean, there's like 19 different shows under that umbrella.
Yeah, it's just a picture of young Sulu.
Let's go with The Simpsons. The first
Okay.
9 seasons of The Simpsons are iconic.
Okay, Lewis, would you like to know what this quiz was about?
Oh god, is it saying something about me?
Okay, so yeah, a lot of these ones are a bit like my incredible sandwich guess, which I tell everyone I meet about with the old quiz where I pulled it out of my butt, that answer. And what do you think this quiz is about, Lewis?
This quiz is about God, I have no fucking
Yeah, right?
idea.
It could be anything. Random guess. Random fucking guess, like mine was.
What animal I am?
No, that's way too on top. You suck at this. Let me read you the little blurb and see if it gives you a clue. You're a comfort to everyone. You're chic and fun to be around.
All of this is true.
Yeah.
I'm a comfort. I'm chic to be around.
No, you're not chic to be around. That's weird. You're chic and fun to be around.
I'm a shake. I'm gonna make one more guess. I honestly have no goddamn clue. What fruit am I?
Yeah, kind of right, ballpark. So this was answer 8 quick questions to find out what type of cheese you are in your soul. And Lewis, you are brie. You are brie, Lewis. I'm glad you mentioned that you fucking hate cheese earlier in the thing. Perfect.
Well, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, you are brie. Chic and fun to be. I am quite often just full of fun when I'm around brie.
Well,
It's near brie.
I mean, if we're just gonna bring up past successes and just live on the glory days, I just want to mention that in one of your previous quizzes, I got 100% in the background of film trivia. So
Okay.
maybe that's a bit better than guessing that you were doing a quiz about a sandwich.
100%'s way easier than guessing anything.
You vote in the audience.
Guessing
What was the better
anything
guess?
in the world and getting it. Like that is, I can't get my head around that fucking quiz. It keeps me up at night. Like, it's how? Anyway, you are brie. Thank you for comforting me and just being chic, Lewis.
Well, you know, that's my vibe. Mm-hmm. It's what I put out into the world, and I feel like whatever you put out into the universe comes back at you.
Like brie.
Which semen's always falling on me.
That's really good. I like that.
Sorry, Mum. She's told
Claire.
me explicitly she listened to about half of episode 1 and she gave up. So our only listener is not actually listening. So we are. Oh God.
We are just coming in the wind, as they say. Lewis, we're nearly there. So don't forget, everyone out there, please like, subscribe. We haven't got a single review. I'd like some more Spotify subscribers. We lost 2 and then we gained 1. So it's going all right.
Pricks.
Who are they? Who are they? I emailed Spotify and I was like, I just wrote that over and over. Who are they? They didn't reply.
Copy and paste and paste.
Email us at nothingbutstuff@gmail.com, 2 T's in the butt. Patreon.com/nothingbutstuff. And we don't have enough. We've got quite a few Instagram followers for Lewis. I guess people just don't use Twitter anymore because it's run by an asshole. But yeah, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at NBStuffPodcast. And Lewis, what is our next movie?
Well, just wanted to put a little note out there for the people. Don't go on Instagram and search butt stuff. You'll see beautiful and horrible things. But Isaac, wow. Okay, so for our next film, everyone can join in on this one because it's actually on YouTube. Ooh. Now, this is a film that I've seen before. A master of modern cinema. Now, one may say the movie that we just watched is a B movie. Now, this is an auteur's work.
You say auteur too many times, Lewis. Every time.
Because
it's always an auteur with you.
Yeah, because you just watched this man work. This absolute champion among men.
Yeah.
We will be watching Neil Breen's film Twisted Pear.
Twisted pear, as in the fruit.
Twisted Pear, as in
a pair of
people.
Okay.
Twins.
I thought I was just like, that's a strange thing to mention.
Honestly, this
wonky apple.
This is a man, Neil Breen. He is, I believe, he's like an architect or something who lives in Las Vegas, and was just like, "Fuck it, I want to make and star in my own movies." And my God, they're made on a budget, and he doesn't really worry himself too much with like writing or acting or editing or special effects. He just does these things. But apparently, in all fairness, this guy like pays everyone properly, and he just does it because he loves it. He knows that he's not the best, but they are genuinely something to see. I can't say they're good or bad.
The kind of middle-aged, long-haired guy, right? Neil Breen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He is 64 years old at the time of recording. And, he's made like 6 movies. He's made like 6 movies. But this is the 2018 Twisted Pear. So I want you to know that this is his second most recent film, and is... So he's well into his film career at this point. He's refined his craft. Mm-hmm. But yes, I've just seen that this year he's also released I believe it's a sequel to Twisted Pear.
Twisted Thruple.
No, the second one is called Cade, The Tortured Crossing, but we'll have to wait until after we've seen this one
to get the context on Cade and that crossing. We'll need
exactly.
Some
if we can compliment this film enough to say that there will be context.
Okay.
But yeah, it will be something to see, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Alrighty. So, Lewis, just the last little bit now before we say goodnight for the evening, and I can finally stop looking at your naked body that I can't take my eyes off. Stupid stuff my kid cried about. You ready?
I've never been more ready to hear about your stupid kid doing stupid stuff.
She wanted to watch TV. It's not over yet. It was already on.
I require more context.
That's it.
She was watching TV.
It's there. That's it.
So she just wasn't facing the TV.
She just didn't get that it was on somehow. That's what I'm saying. Fucking insane. Like, what? Oh dear.
Oh god.
Thank you. Can't wait for her to listen to these when she's older. I will play them for her, don't worry. All right, well, that's me. Bye!
Yeah, as always, guys, we made fun of a lot of serious things here tonight. Isaac, put some cool backing track in this bit. And you don't need to edit out this bit. No, more like sad, but thoughtful piano music. Remember, everyone, rape isn't fun. But in this movie, it was quite funny. Good night, everyone!
I'm glad I just wrote a rape score.
Good night, Ryan. I'll see you tomorrow in the office.